Hello Tubies, it's Johnny again. Thank you for joining me. Purpose of this video is for some amusement hopefully and some minor historic information, and is a narrative of how I came to learn the diamond lashing. It's a bit of a shaggy dog story and there's no great point to it, so if you've got nothing better to do, you're invited to watch on. If you're busy though, I'd leave now. In 2015, in May, I was a member of the local volunteer marine rescue. We're based in Moreton Bay, which is just outside Brisbane, off the coast of Queensland, Australia. In May 2015, we were visited by a boat called the Hokulea, which I'd never heard of. This boat rocked up. This boat was a traditional Polynesian voyaging craft. It had twin canoe hulls, and the canoe hulls were fixed together or joined together by cross beams which had planking over the top. And the whole ensemble was held together by bits of string, which was quite alarming considering that the people on it had just sailed from Hawaii, so no inconsiderable distance. Now, I was fascinated by this boat and by the actual voyage that these people had undertaken, and on talking to them I discovered that not only had they done it in this open boat, they'd used traditional Polynesian navigation methods, of which I was entirely ignorant. They don't use compasses, they don't use charts, they do star sightings, they know where they are in relation to the sun and the moon, but they also go deeper in, the knowledge is a lot deeper than that. They understand oceanic currents, wind shifts, wind directions. They study birds and every clue they can get, what weed they're seeing. Entirely different concept to what I've been used to with my compass and my chart and my slide rule. Obviously with my GPS and more modern stuff. So I was completely intrigued by this. Now, I'd done the publicity officer role for the Marine Rescue Organisation. So I was involved with the people for quite some time, taking photos and videos and talking to them. And I was just absorbed by this technique of sailing and by this type of boat. Well, they stayed with us for 2 days and then they left. And apart from tracking them occasionally on their web tracker, that was it. They'd gone. Move on. Now, in the interim, I'm constantly looking to buy a sailing vessel. At the end of this year, being 2017, I hope to have amassed sufficient budget to buy a boat. But up until this point, I had dismissed catamarans as being too expensive to maintain, and for lots of other reasons. And I'd moved on to looking at single hull boats. However, in my looking around YouTube to find interesting cruising adventures and different boats, I stumbled across the Lucky Fish. The Lucky Fish, skippered by Stuart and crewed by his two lovely Mongolian ladies, whose names I should attempt to pronounce, Zaya and Taya, I think. Sorry if I got that wrong. So I followed the Lucky Fish for some time. And the Lucky Fish got to the island of St. Helena in the middle of the Atlantic. And lo and behold, who should pull up at the next mooring buoy but the Hokulea. I was quite intrigued to see Stuart's videos. Stuart was invited on board the Hokulea, and the skipper of the Hokulea, Bruce Blankenfeld, actually demonstrated to Stuart one of the traditional Polynesian lashings, which I'd never seen before. It's fascinating lashing. In reciprocation, Stuart invited Bruce on board the Lucky Fish, and Bruce had a good look over, admired the catamaran, and said that the only thing missing was on two of the posts and beams that he required diamond lashings. They were the perfect lashing to fit these beams instead of the lashings Stuart had. Unfortunately, they were running out of light, so they couldn't do a demonstration or video it, and the Hokulea was leaving the next day, so there was no time to video it. So Bruce said to Stuart, if you're ever up in Hawaii, he said, we get back in 2017, call in and see us, and I'll show you the diamond lashing. Well, as things turned out, Stuart and the Lucky Fish made it to Miami, where they went to a Warham believe it's a luai. It's like a gathering of warren boats, which is this particular type of vessel. But he never made it to Hawaii. I was chatting to Stuart about this and just mentioned to him that the Hokulea was getting back into Hawaii the week before I was due to visit Hawaii. And Stuart said, hello, have you ever heard of the diamond lashing? We'd been talking about it for some time, and I said, look, when I'm in Hawaii, I'll pop over there, I'll see if I can find the Hokulea and Bruce, and I'll see if I can get him to demonstrate it on video. I'll video it for you. So that was all on and arranged. Now, when the Hokulea arrived back in Hawaii, it had been away circumnavigating for 3 years, and it arrived to a rock star welcome. 50,000 people turned up to welcome it back to Hawaii. It was pretty phenomenal, and I'm really sad I missed that by a week. And the crew were, again, they were rock stars. Bruce and the other skippers who had skipped on it, they were just in such demand from media. Their umbrella organisation, which is the Polynesian Voyaging Society, it's a small organisation, was inundated, and we couldn't get any messages to them. We left messages, we couldn't get anything back off of them. So, an attempt to track down the Hokulea, which kept moving around, and to actually try and make a connection with Bruce to see if we could video this clip, I recruited the concierge of my hotel, gorgeous young lady called, I'll have to short form it, Lay, because I can't pronounce the whole name. I will mention them in the credits later. She got on the case and she rang around and tried her hardest, and she finally found where the boat had moved to. So one day I only had about 5.5 days in Hawaii, so on the first day I walked to where the boat was, or had been moved to, only to find after an extremely long walk it had been moved again. So I came home, went back to the hotel, didn't get it. So when I went to see Lay the next day, I said, boat wasn't there, still haven't made any contact. She said, all right, sit tight, we'll find it. So again, she'd done some more investigation, and they had moved it. They'd moved it to a place called Sand Island, and it's right next to it's a building that houses the Polynesian Voyaging Society's headquarters, and it's also the Marine, let's try and get this right, it's the Marine Education Training Centre. And so now I knew where it was, and it was a long way away. So the next day I tried to do it by public transport. That was problematic to say the least, and by the time I got as close as I could by public transport, I had another monumental walk. Bearing in mind this is in the tropics in the heat of the day, and I slugged it out, and I finally got there. It took me ages, and the Hokulea was there, fantastic, but Bruce wasn't. I'd missed Bruce by half an hour. I'd probably been travelling for 2 hours and I'd missed him by half an hour, which was disappointing. I left a message for him. I had a chat with another guy. I took photos and videos of the general lashings on the Hokulea, but there was no one there who could show me how to do this diamond lashing. So, tail between the legs, I had to retreat. Now the good part of that story is while I was on the Hokulea, 3 women turned up, and I believe the dynamic was mother, grandmother, daughter, and they were indigenous Hawaiian people, and the Hokulea to them was, again, it was the boat, and they had to be photographed on it. So being a photographer, I volunteered to do their telephone photographs for them. So I posed them in lots of positions, got some great photographs with, I think the gentleman's name is Nakui, a huge Polynesian, big splash I'd call him, massive guy, and we posed them steering the boat and all sorts. I stooged around hoping that something would develop, and nothing did. But these 3 ladies took pity on me and decided to drive me back, we just had an absolute laugh. It was fantastic. The laugh got worse when I said I convinced them. I said I try very hard to be a traveller when I'm abroad, and I like to talk to people, and I like to mix with the population and not just be a tourist. I said, I've got to apologise to you. I said, instead of dropping me off at the hotel, I need to do a really tourist thing. And they inquired as to what that might be. I said, please could you drop me off at Walmart? Well, they were in hysterics. The lady was driving, could hardly steer a straight line. We were crying. I said, why do you want to go to Walmart for? I've just heard so much about it. It's on my list of Americana things to do. So anyway, long story short, they dropped me off at Walmart. So that was the end of the second day's search. I went back to the hotel. I'd made videos on board the Hokulea apologising to Stuart for having failed and was running out of time. Didn't have any time left. This would have been the Tuesday and I was leaving on the Friday. But good news, I got a message. Fantastic. And the message came through. Bruce has heard about the attempts you're making to get onto the Hokulea. Absolutely no problem. He'll make time for you on Saturday. Now, I since discovered that on the Thursday and the Friday, Bruce was having the Hokulea stripped so that she could be put on land to have some hull work done. So he's a very busy man. And he said he'd made time for me on Saturday. And I said, that's absolutely fantastic. I'm really pleased. I said, but my flight's on Friday. I can't do it. So with a bit of fiddling, he finally booked me some time on the Thursday. So again, just before flight time, my family's on vacation. They're trying to do stuff. And I'm like, no, I'm just going to pop over there and do a quick video. So anyway, long story short, fed up of walking by this time. Got a taxi, whooshed over to Sand Island. Bruce was there, just met him as he turned up. And he'd done the deal for me, he'd done the business. It was fantastic. He took me around a boat, he showed me the lashings. I realised how incredibly busy this man was, yet he was so kind. He took such time to carefully and slowly and laboriously explain everything to me. I'm pretty thick, it takes a bit of time to get the information in, and he just adjusted to me. He was fantastic. However, there were some problems. I videoed everything I could, but because I knew Bruce was busy, I had to try and minimise my effect on his time. So I set up my video camera on a tripod, parked it over the lashing, set it as best as I could, and we got on with business. And we were at it for about half an hour. Got my footage, sorted out, said goodbye and thanks to Bruce, and then rushed back to the hotel to check what my footage looked like. And I can only say the word was disastrous. During the shoot, I had attempted to monitor the levels. We were in Hawaii, it was 12 o'clock in the tropics, the sun was overhead and beating down fiercely. I had the most high contrast and noisy image you could imagine. You don't have to imagine it because I'm tacking it on the end of this. And if that wasn't bad enough, it was windy, which kept ripping across my mic. Middle of the day, the heat gets up, the wind starts moving across the water, and it was just, the sound levels were awful. And I only have my in-camera mic. I don't have an external with a dead cat device to cut the wind noise. So I was stuck with it. But that wasn't the end of the poor quality. Sand Island is directly adjacent to the end of Honolulu International Runway, the airport runway. So we had jets taking off periodically and getting very close to us before turning away. So we're getting a lot of jet noise coming in from the civilian jets. There's Pearl Harbor and several military establishments nearby, so we then had a couple of military jets fly past. Then there were the helicopters. We had some tourist helicopters fly past. And we had some military helicopters fly past. And we had boats powering past our position all the time. And if that wasn't bad enough, the other thing that gave me the big hurry up, being in the tropics and getting on towards the afternoon, was a huge thunderhead was building up behind us and threatening to drop its contents on us. So all in all, my footage is rubbish. And I have to say, by way of an apology to the many people who helped, not just Bruce, my receptionist Lay, Heidi at the Polynesian Voyaging Society, and so many other people who I will be mentioning in the credits later. I just got to apologise to all of them for having done such an awful job of capturing a video of what should have been a fantastic tutorial. I have made a clinical studio tutorial which will be released after I've put this one out. I think that's about all I need to say on this subject before we cut to the actual video. I hope you enjoyed this story. It was frustrating but amusing, and at the end of the day I think I've learnt the diamond lashing, and it's now something I can pass on to you. I'm going to run the video footage, but I recommend that you keep your finger on your volume button and be prepared to dial it down every time the noises start. And please also bear in mind that this is the best selection of footage. Thank you very much. I'll see you on the credits. Cheers.
Put the shuttle through. Then you put the line in the shuttle. And then you pull it through.
Right, yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
So, okay, now let's just tie this off for here to here for now. Let's just tie it up, and then.
So it just gives us our anchor point.
Yeah, anchor point. So what you do is, so this one, so like for Stuart's boat, it would come through that hole.
Yeah.
That hole that we had. Then it would go across like this. Okay, it would cross from this side. Oh shucks! I'm gonna go back to this side. So you come out of here. You don't go here and back in. You cross it.
Cross it first, yeah.
And then you would shuttle here. Then pull the shuttle out.
Yeah.
And operate the shuttle.
I'm qualified.
We go in.
Will.
There you go.
Doesn't realise it
No,
yet.
that's good. Okay, pull it through. See how lovely that is?
Lovely.
Okay, so you pull it through. So this one crosses here.
Yeah.
This one comes out on this side this time. Okay. And then it should go in the middle, yeah? And then this one crosses in the middle here. Okay, you put the shuttle through again. Okay, bring it through. Oh, pretty good. Okay, pull it through. Okay, good. Okay, now we start our pattern. You can go on either side. What you're doing is, the next one is pointing these. So let's go on the outside. Okay, put your shuttle through. On the outside. Okay, good. Okay. And then, so we did that on the side. That's why this knot is really key. Yeah. Every time you go over, you're biting. Okay, you shuttle through again. Here's the trick. Now this one, when I come on the outside, what are you doing? You see this one? You got a choice to go on both sides. But this one, you see, it's pinch this one, and this one's free. Yeah. But on this side, both of them are free. Yeah. So you want to catch both of them that are free. See? Okay. One more.
Every racket adds
one more time.
More.
Yeah. One more time.
We'll have to beat the last one, I think.
May have to. That's a tough one. I don't know if we can do it again. Okay. Go ahead.
Feel it rippling through the...
Nice. Yeah, well, what happened is so full of line already.
Yeah.
Too tight?
No, too tight.
Yeah. Okay,
But I think that's enough to learn by.
You cross this one? Okay,
Yeah.
so now, once you cross this, you see the diamonds already been established?
Yeah.
Okay, so you come across this. Then we have to come through. So let's just say we came through.
Yeah.
And we we end up coming on this side. So you have, now look at what you got. You got a couple of choices here. You got two that are underneath and one's on top, right over here. You got the two outsides that are on top. So that's what you want. So you're going to come and you're going to close that up. So you come and you cinch that up. Okay? So you see the diamond pattern just continues? Because if you did this, well, you wouldn't have, you see, you're missing a diamond pattern.
Yeah, and that's key to.
So there's a two on the outside of the open.
I might be a bit.
You see the diamond pattern right there?
Dude, yeah.
You getting that?
Yeah, getting that.
Okay, and then you got to come through. Then you come through again. So tell me which one out of these two would you go across?
Coming up this side.
Yeah, which one? Would you go on this side or this side?
This side.
That's right. 'Cause you got the right side, right? That's exactly right.
You told me well that.
And you go across, and you go across, and you see that diamond. See the diamond in there? We'll continue. It'll flow upwards. Now, at the end, when you get to all your lines through, like this, so say at the end,
Yeah.
it looks like that. What you do is here, what we do, and you gotta come, and this way use the shuttle. Put the shuttle through here. Like this way. Come in. Yeah, let me get on that side.
From just there.
Yes, I do. Okay, and then pull that through. Good. That's how you do it. Okay. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna pull this down,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna come. Then we're gonna figure eight. So then you're gonna come from this side. Put your shuttle through there. Pull it through. We're gonna
So shuttle through that
no,
way.
put it through this side. Yeah, and then pull it through. So it's going to go like, so you're going to go through. Yeah. That. Just keep figuring it back and forth, right? And it makes this tighter.
Yeah.
And so it's a couple of things. I don't know if what it does three things, right? I said it tightens the line.
Yeah.
It protects the line, the lashing. So it's
Yeah.
actually protecting it as well. And it's yeah, so it protects it and tightens it. It's one of the things that I was thinking of. Yeah. Hey, you good with that?
I'm very good with that. That is fantastic. And then we would take that end off and do the other side.
Yeah, so you do one side, that's
Yeah.
right, yeah. So you do one side,
Yeah.
finish it, and the end, but so that's why you want to leave a pretty good tail on the other end, at least 2 fathoms of line.
Yeah.